Hey. What's up? Hey, let's go! Oh. What's up, Heat Nation? Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Smiles, excitement is rolling in, you guys. You know why. Because last night, the Miami Heat did business against the Portland Trail Blazers. Heat win 106-96, going 3-0 on this West Coast trip, winning our last 5 straight games. Miami are sitting at a 33-25 record. I'm excited, you guys. I'm fumbling because this Heat team be doing business. Just like I said recently, the second half of the season, the Miami Heat are going to turn it on and do business. Right now, the Heat are sitting with the 6th seed, a comfortable seed. Just like I've mentioned before, you're not in the play-in anymore. You're sitting at the 6th seed. If the playoffs start right now, you guys, the Heat will play the 3rd seed. I don't care who it is. It could be Cleveland. It could be Milwaukee. It could be New York. It doesn't matter. Because you guys know what I want. A rematch in the Eastern Conference Finals between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. That's what I want. I don't want a second-round matchup. I don't want a first-round matchup. I want the Celtics in the conference finals for 2 reasons. One, the Celtics are the best. You want to play against the best at the highest stage. And reason number 2, the rivalry. Miami played Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals 3 of the last 4 years. The Heat are up 2-1. This is a beautiful rivalry. You just want it to continue. This is a rivalry similar to Chicago against Detroit, Boston and LA, Miami and New York, Boston, Miami. It's been going on since 2010. So you want to continue that rivalry. That's just me. So if you're sitting at the 6th seed, you get Boston in the conference finals. I don't mind if Miami jump up to the 3rd seed, but I'll tell y'all this. Something to think about. The Miami Heat have our 2024 first-round draft pick. And if the Heat get the 6th seed where we're at right now, we not only have comfortable seeding in the playoffs, but you're getting a lower, like an upper 20, low teens first-round draft pick. We saw what we did with Jaquez. Miami Heat can do something similar in the 2024 draft. And from what I'm hearing, it's pretty stacked. So keep that in mind, Heat fans. Now let's talk about last night, shall we? Because we had a few returns. Jimmy Butler and Nicole Jovic came back. Jimmy Butler goes on Hemi mode. It's like I said, he's activating second half of the season. 22 points, 9 assists, 4 steals. Damn! Jimmy Butler wanted to go ahead and shut everybody up and shut them fans up in Portland, all the crap that they talk. And look, I got to give thanks to Joe Cronin. This is the Joe Cronin Part 3 thank you video, ladies and gentlemen. I know you clicked on the thumbnail for that reason, and we're getting to it. And that's because in the offseason, if you don't remember, Joe Cronin didn't want to talk to the Miami Heat to make a trade. A lot of people says that Pat Riley dropped the ball when it came to not trading for Damian Lillard, but it's like I said, all the video I was making in the offseason, it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 parties to make a trade. Miami Heat were super willing to trade for Damian Lillard. They just didn't want to go all in and give up the house like Portland wanted. They were playing the game of chicken. Damian Lillard stood his ground. He wanted to go to the Miami Heat. He pushed for the Miami Heat all offseason. His agent pushed for the Miami Heat all offseason. Didn't happen. Damian Lillard at the last second told Portland, you can send me to either Milwaukee or Brooklyn. Because remember, Damian told Portland, if he's traded anywhere else besides Miami, he would request another trade to the Heat. Then at the last second, Damian Lillard changed his stance. So remember that. It's not Pat Riley dropped the ball on this. It just takes 2 to tango. And last night, and in previous nights before, you guys, the players that the Miami Heat were willing to give up have been showing out all season. Now, the original offer was Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, and multiple first-round draft picks. We know Portland denied that. We know there wasn't any other talks after that. But as time was progressing, it was sounding like, and this came from Dan Le Batard, that the Miami Heat were willing to extend for further players. The Heat were willing to give up either Jaquez or Nicole Jovic. They were willing to give up Caleb Martin in a potential package, even though the Heat didn't want to. Then it became a point that the Heat were maybe willing to give up both Jovic and Jaquez. Riley didn't want to, but there were a lot around the camp saying, do what you got to do to get Damian Lillard. That was the attitude leaning in more towards the end of the Damian Lillard trade, especially when other teams were coming up. But Pat Riley didn't budge. He said no. And this came directly from Dan Le Batard, you guys. He said that Pat Riley said multiple times, the offer is the offer. Tyler Herro is the best that you're going to get from Damian Lillard. And it was true. If you look at Tyler Herro's season statistically, he's the best player from any of the deals that were brought in that trade. But look at some of the players that were available in that trade. Look what they did last night. Duncan Robinson, 17 points. He goes 5 for 8 for the field, 4 for 6 from the three-point line. Previous game before, yeah, he only scores 4 points, but he dishes 11 assists and is a plus 25 out on the court. Duncan Robinson has evolved his game. I'm sure Portland could have used that. Jaime Jaquez Jr. Yeah, he has 7 points off the bench in 29 minutes, but he's a plus 10 out there. And we all know what Juan Wick has been doing all season. He's untouchable for the Miami Heat. He's our future. Nikola Jovic starts 15 minutes, but he gives you 8 points. He's a plus 2 out there, 2 for 4 in the three-point line. We know a lot of the big games that Nikola Jovic has had this season. And what I'm loving that the Miami Heat are doing, they're using Nikola Jovic starting, and they're mixing him with Kevin Love out there with Bam Adebayo. That's eventually what I wanted. A three-headed big man rotation roster between Bam Adebayo, Nikola Jovic, and Kevin Love. You do that moving forward into the playoffs, I think the Heat have a good shot in the big man rotation. And also, you got Caleb Martin, 27 minutes, gives you 8 points, 3 for 6 for the field, and his defensive presence is big. Now, you can't tell me that that's not valuable assets. Because all offseason, people were saying that the Heat had no assets. That Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, multiple first-round draft, they weren't assets. Now, I know what people are going to say. Portland fans are going to be like, oh, well, Tyler Herro didn't play last night. He's been injured all year long. Well, remember, Portland fans didn't want him. The Heat were going to use Tyler Herro to send to another team to get Portland more draft compensation. And for people that say, well, Portland got DeAndre Ayton, Miami was going to get Portland DeAndre Ayton. Phoenix was already involved in a multi-team trade. It was supposed to be the Heat, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Phoenix Suns, and the fourth team was going to get Tyler Herro in exchange for 2 future first-round draft picks. That was the reports coming out. That was the rumors coming out before Damian Lillard was traded to Milwaukee. That was the talks. That's what Miami was willing to do. Miami at the end wanted to trade for Damian Lillard, but it's like I said, it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to negotiate and 2 to make a trade. Joe Cronin, thank you very much. Heat fans appreciate you. Give me 1 second, guys. My bad, guys. Had a little work situation here. Get back to it. I'm on the grind while I'm doing this stuff, you guys. Anyways, big ups to other players last night. You get 13 points from Bam Adebayo. Not the game that you're used to. Bam was holding it down in the second half, but that's because other guys were stepping up. Terry Rosier finally comes back from injury, and he's looking like that Terry Rosier, and he's being comfortable. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 block shots, a steal. Fills up the stat sheets, goes 7 for 14 for the field, 2 for 4 from the three-point line. Terry Rosier is becoming a revelation instead of having Kyle Lowry. I love me some Kyle Lowry. You know the respect I have for Kyle Lowry, guys. But at 37, he just wasn't there anymore. Terry Rozier is a lot quicker. He's a better offensive player, and it's showing with this roster. It's working. I know when we traded for him, we were losing some games. We were already in the midst of a losing streak when we traded for Rosier. Then getting him acclimated to the team takes some time. So I'm really happy seeing Rosier out there. I know it sucks that Tyler Herro got hurt, you guys, but this gives Rosier an opportunity to get more comfortable with the offense. Now the question is, when Herro comes back, is it smart to put him in that starting lineup? I'm looking at this starting lineup last night, you guys. Duncan Robinson, Nicole Jovic, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Terry Rosier. And this is the starting lineup that I've told you guys in the past, that it's the optimal starting lineup moving forward and into the playoffs. And you saw it last night. It was a little bit slow starting, but we were able to pick it up with our bench firepower coming off. Everybody in the bench stepped up in a certain way. I know DeLon Red and Haywood Highsmith only scored 2 points apart, but what they do out there defensively doesn't show in the box scores. Kevin Love scored, Caleb Martin scored, Jaime Jaquez scored. They did their part. This lineup that I'm seeing out there is beautiful. But if you look at that bench, you guys, nobody was able to crack more than 10 points. If Tyler Herro comes back, and if Tyler Herro is the main sixth man coming off the bench, playing against the second unit against other teams, that's the point that I'm trying to make, you guys. Not only would the Heat be able to win these games, with Tyler Herro coming off the second unit, playing the same amount of minutes that he plays now, I think the Heat would have a stronger hold on some of these leads. Because at the end of the day, there's only one basketball. If you have Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro, and Terry Rosier out there, you're asking Terry Rosier to lead the offense as a point guard, and you're asking Tyler Herro to do what Duncan Robinson does, which is be a spot-up shooter. Move around off the ball and shoot. That's not his game. If you allow Duncan Robinson to start for Tyler Herro, and have Tyler Herro replace, and have Tyler Herro replace either Duncan Robinson or Terry Rosier off the bench, you guys, then I think the offensive firepower would be a lot better. That's just my point. And back to my Joe Cronin point, you guys. Thank you, big ups for Joe Cronin, because the benefits that we're seeing this season from all Duncan Robinson, Tyler Herro, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and Nikola Jovic is showing me that Pat Riley made the right decision not pulling the trigger on that trade. I know it was both parties that didn't speak. I know it was eventually Miami that were just willing to give up the trade, but it didn't get done. That's a part of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes things happen for a reason. We got to count our blessings and be happy the team is the way it is. Now we got our final matchup in the road trip coming up against the Denver Nuggets. That's going to be a big one, y'all. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you think the Miami Heat can defeat the Denver Nuggets? Get back revenge against the NBA Finals loss. We may be depleted with Tyler Herro, but I still think we can win the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, you guys. Let me know what you think about last night's victory. And again, Part 3, Joe Cronin thank you video for the season. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys still happy we didn't trade for Damian Lillard? Or do you think it still shot us in the foot? Let me know what you think in the comments, you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Would really mean a lot to me. Until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Hope that mic drop gave you guys laughs. Oh my God.